What's up, everybody? How are you doing? Mike Watson, publisher of Short Fuse Media Group, founder of Freestyle Comics, one half of The Good, the Bad, the Nerdy, aka the Super Mad Brother, and the most enthusiastic person in comics. Hope you all are doing good today, and welcome to another episode of Chat and Draw. The show has been going really good. I'm super excited. We've been getting good views. We've been getting good analytics on it. Lots of good questions, and we've been featuring some really cool creators and those comics and their comic characters. But I've got to put a call out. I need our female creators to get on the show. Right now, the guys have been dominating it. I need our female creators to step up and come up here and bring their characters. And where are the female comic book characters at? Okay, we need them. Let's represent. Let's get it in. All types of characters. Let's have some variety out here. Now, I last episode drew Profit for Chris Williams. That was a really great show. I was a little nervous about it because I was free-handing guns without any perspective tools or anything like that, but it ended up coming out really, really nice. On today's episode, we will be having Danny J. Quick coming up with Ace Blade, and without further ado, Danny J. Quick, everybody.
What's up, man?
What's up, Danny? Did you like the intro?
I love that, man. Got the sound effects and everything, man. I love it.
Oh, wait, too many.
Street Fighter,
All
bro.
right, yeah. So I wanted to get that up there. I'll make that transition more smooth next time.
It was good, man. It was good.
What's good? What's good with you? You here to build Short Fuse represent?
Short fuse, regular people making comics and stuff. You know how I do.
I got to get that shirt next. I love that shirt.
You don't have one of these?
Not one of those, not yet.
Come on now.
I know.
Got to talk to Sean Mack.
All right, so here we go. So I'm going to share my screen. So give us your elevator pitch of Ace Blade.
Right off the top, man, the elevator pitch.
So that's the pattern I'm going right off the top.
So Ace Blade is just a man who wants to help out in his community. His mantra is guts over greed. So he's just a man who wants to help out in his community and use what he has, which is his supreme fighting skills, to take down the bad guys, man. He's not any different than you and me. Just go ahead.
Supreme fighting skills?
That's right. Ace Blade is the best fighter in the universe.
The universe?
The universe. The best hand-to-hand combat fighter in the universe.
That's a big. I know it's your world, but that's a big comment. Like, I know you got a couple different books under the Fourth Wall Productions, but have we gone into space yet in your books?
We actually have gone into space with the King Supreme book. We got King Supreme is out there. He's out there in the outer space. He's met some aliens, and all of that. So yeah, that's real. But since I'm the creator of Ace Blade, I get to say he's the best hand-to-hand. See, people ask me all the time if Ace Blade can beat like Batman, because people, Batman is the bar that people measure, hand-to-hand combat by. And I always tell people that Terrell Durham can beat Bruce Wayne. Okay, that's Terrell. Terrell Durham is Ace Blade's secret identity. He could beat Bruce Wayne in a hand-to-hand fight. Ace Blade probably couldn't beat Batman though, because he does not have the gadgets. He does not have $1 billion in the bank. He's just a dude who can knock you out in 1,000 different ways.
Okay. Daniel Calivan's in the building. He says he's got that shirt.
What's
he
up,
said
man?
it's slightly damaged, though. Richard Ruffin's back in the building. Was with us last episode. All right, so that's interesting. You're saying Ace, the greatest fighter in the universe, can beat Bruce Wayne hand to hand, but can't beat Batman due to the arrangement of gadget that Batman has.
I'm not saying that he can't do that, man. I'm just saying that um, it would probably be a 50-50 split. If they fought 100 times, they probably, you know, go Ace Blade probably win 51 times out of 50 out of 100. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all right. All right. So tell us about your process for how did Ace Blade come into creation? Where did he come from? Like how did you come up with this character and going through these steps or creation steps?
So I tell you the the story that I tell people at conventions and stuff. Actually, um, a young man by the name of Christoph Hollers. I had a job at a company where we were printing Pokemon cards. So you know the Pokemon cards that you get in the packs, right? We
Yeah.
print those Pokemon cards, we cut them and we packaged them, right? Amongst
Okay.
other things, right? So this dude, me and him were always talking about geek stuff. He made literal, you know, he made costume jewelry for superheroes because people wanted to buy like a Green Lantern ring or Aquaman's trident, and they didn't have a place to go buy that stuff. So he made them in his garage. And one day we
Okay.
were, and he told me he had created the superhero when he was in school, when he was in school 20 something years ago, called Ace Blade, and he never did anything with it. And he told me about it, and I was like, cool, man, I'd like to see it. He brought in some old sketches and everything, and it was this black dude wearing this purple spandex, and he had these swords. And I said, yo, man, this is kind of cool. I never, really thought about actually creating a comic book. I never thought people, regular people did that kind of stuff. I thought it was just for Marvel and DC.
Mhm.
So I know you're right. I know you're a writer and all that stuff. If you want to try to write some stories, then go ahead. So me, the opportunist that I am, I said, sure, I'd like to see what I could do. I went home that night and I could not stop thinking about, this character, everything that me and him had talked about, him wanting to get revenge, all the famous comic book tropes I wanted to put in there, and then how I could use this character to tell a new kind of story. So literally the next day I brought back like 10 pages of stories, and he was like, man, you kind of went crazy on it. You kind of, wow, he didn't expect me to actually write. So long story short, that was 12 years ago. I ended up getting deployed to Iraq that next year in 2008.
Mhm.
So I had to leave the job. But while I was in Iraq, I just kept writing stories for Ace Blade. And when I got back, started learning how to make comics. I'm not a talented artist like you are, bro. I already see you getting it with the layout. But but I can write a mean story. I can craft a mean story. So that's what I started doing, man. And the rest is history.
Mm. That is a very unique and interesting story that I've heard from a creator. So, what exactly about Ace Blade, like when you saw it, when you're in? Morgan Iverson's in the building, everybody. Chris Williams is here too. He was on
What's
the
up,
show
Morgan?
last night. Thank you.
Prof,
What
I
was it?
watched yesterday.
What drew you to this character, Ace Blade? What did you see, like when he
I
showed
don't
it
know,
to
man.
you?
Like,
What was it about him?
yeah, when I first saw him, it was just it was black dude who was a purple ninja, and he just looked so bad. Like he looks like the coolest dude. Like even though he had on this spandex and he had on outside his clothes and stuff like that, it just looked so cool to me to have this purple dude walking around, who knew that he could beat anybody, that he wanted to, and I was just like, man, this could it was something that you've seen before, but you haven't seen before, if you know what I mean. Like, um, you've seen muscly superheroes who got all the confidence in the world. You've seen Batman, who's the Dark Knight. He's a vigilante. You've seen, Captain America, who's the true North character who has his morals, but you never seen it from from our perspective, you never seen it quite like Ace Blade, you know. So I just thought it would be interesting to go ahead with that, man. But listen, you had what 3 4 people on, and you've talked about
Yeah.
all of these amazing characters. I saw the episode with Chris Thomasma. You know, that bass force base force that you did was amazing. It was dope. Even though he had the red powers coming out of his gauntlets and stuff, that was cool. I saw the profit that you did yesterday. It was cool. When are we gonna get some hot shot though?
I don't know. Maybe maybe that'll be a mirror episode where I have an artist guest star on there and they'll chat and draw me.
Nice. Okay. Well, Joe started. I got that. I told
you did. You told me you had some beef. I'm all in your inbox thinking everything's cool. You're about to surprise attack me on the show.
I got some beef with you, man. I got real beef with you right now, man. I'm gonna address it right here on the show, man. I'm gonna address it right here. I want you on the spot. So you know me, man. I support indie comics, man. I try to the way that I try to support indie comics is that, you know, indie comics from shows. When people do Kickstarters, I support them, even if I can't support them. You know, during Kickstarter, I try to buy them afterwards. So I've been reading your comic hot. I got a few questions for you. How long have you been doing comics, Mike? How long have you been doing comics, Mike?
Like 2004.
2004?
Yeah.
Okay. 16 years plus. Okay. Okay. So you got 10 issues, 11 issues of Hot Shot out now, right?
10.
It's 10, so it's the zero book and 1 through 9?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't like Carla. I don't think I like Carla at all.
Well, I don't know, man.
I like Hot Shot's girlfriend. I don't think I like her, bro. Like I was going back through the comics, man. I was reading them, and I think it was issue 3 where she finds out. And spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't gotten this far yet in the Hot Shot series, but it's like it's early on in the series where she finds out, you know, that Hot Shot, that Michael Watson in the book, Michael Watson is Hot Shot. Right?
Okay.
So immediately, all right. So for those of y'all who don't know, Hot Shot is basically about a young kid. It's basically about a young kid. All right. So there's this thing that happened called the Zero Event, where all the superheroes in the universe, most of the heroes disappear, right, during this big battle. And then all of a sudden, this young black kid named Michael Watson from Columbia, Ohio. I don't know if that's a coincidence or not, but he gets these powers, and you know he has to balance his life, his superhero life, with you know, his regular life. Doesn't end up breaking up, and then when she finds out, like, she doesn't even bat it. Like, it takes her literally 4 panels from the time that she confronts him to the time that she blames him for everything in the universe. It's like, bruh, give the man a break. He's out here trying to save the world. He's out here trying to do his best. He's out here sacrificing his life. And she's like, I thought you was cheating on me, but you out here fighting criminals. You out here being hot shot, running off with bimbos. I'm like, bro, what? Why you gotta treat the man like this? Like,
this is so funny because I feel like I'm the only one that defends him. Carla. Carla, did you not like Carla either? Huh? Look, so Carla's really upset. If you read the book, she's upset. And I
I
feel
can
like she has
tell.
every right to be upset because here's the thing: Mike in the book did not tell her that he was hotshot. He could have died
Mm-hmm.
at any moment her without her knowing. If you read the hotshot book, you know
Sure.
this dude disappeared in an interdimensional portal and was gone. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden reappeared and he'd been gone for like days. But he's been in this portal. What if he disappears? What if he dies? Or like and he's just gone and she has no idea what's going on. She has been completely open about everything with her and her side of the relationship. And Mike held on to this one thing.
Sure.
So it's like he didn't trust her enough to know this information. And yet and still, his best friend, who is also a female, who she thinks is the one he's cheating on her with, knows he's hotshot. So why does
I
she get
mean,
to know?
he didn't tell her though. He didn't tell her
Friend,
that
no.
he was hot shot. She figured it out. That's not his fault.
Then the moment she figured it out, she should have helped her figure it out.
Nah, I'm not going with you. I don't think. I don't think. I don't think it's working for me. I don't think Carla's working for me. I'm like, bruh, it took her literally 4 panels. I want to say I gotta go back and read again, but it was like between the time that she confronted him and the time that they got to their destination, she was like, "Oh, okay, I know your secret. Now I'm still off it. We still off. That ain't no excuse. I still hate your guts." And I'm like, bruh, you found out the man wasn't cheating on you. That's what you really said you were concerned about. You thought you were breaking up with him because you thought he was cheating on you. He's not. He wasn't cheating on you. He's out here fighting crime. Get a man a break.
She can't give him a break, man. He done had all the breaks and opportunities to tell her this,
Terrible.
to deal with it and have this conversation. Like she said in issue 3, they were completely floating in the sky. She wasn't flipping out. She was handling it perfectly fine. They were having a full blast conversation up in the upper horizon, and she was cool with it. Um, or
Cool.
did like it's the fact that he is a comic book person who is in the comic books, so he knows how this type of thing could have went. You would think someone that knows about Spider-Man and all these other characters would be able to find a way to break it to his then girlfriend that he's a superhero and and have it under wraps. You've had all these examples of it going bad and good.
He said it right in the opening panels, though. When you're doing it, it's different than reading it on the paper. It's more personal to you when you're going through it. It's not something that you. And she's his girlfriend, right? He's not like he didn't propose. She wasn't his wife or his fiance. He didn't. They're not married, right? So
No, they're not
I
married.
mean, like, how far really? If how far do you really, expect me to go with this? Like, I can't divulge my deepest thoughts, and I'm sure some closet too, something that she doesn't know about, right?
Well, we're gonna have to see as the series goes on. Let me check some of these comments. Uh, Nadia Jackson says, "Yo, Danny, what's up?" Morgan Iverson says, "Got
What's
that
that?
right." Chris Williams said, "Got to support." Morgan's back with Todd Sibley. I don't know who Todd Sibley is. Morgan says, "Stop spoiling this man's comic." What's wrong with you, Danny J. Quick? It's fine. I have this discussion with
That's what I
people
do.
online all the time. All the time. Nadia says he's a superhero. He can't tell her. Now I got to go find Hotshot. You can find it at shortfusemediagroup.com at our store. She says, so what happens if he tells her and then they still break up? Again, she
Exactly.
said,
She's still gonna break up.
I don't think she would have broke up with him if she knew. That was the thing, that she was doing all this stuff behind her back. It was so important to him. It was more than their relationship.
Well, she knows, and she still decided to stay gone. Like I'm on. I want to say I'm on book 7 or 8 now. When did Dino Girl come in? Is that 7, 8?
Oh yeah, Dino Girl comes in issue 7. Did you read issue 0?
I read Zero. Nah, I understand. Listen, I understand the 3 hours late for the. I understand. Listen, I get it, but the way that she's handling him afterwards, like, I just don't like her attitude, man. I just don't like her attitude at all. And another thing, what's up with vigilance? Like,
what you mean? What's up with
I
it?
read so the villain Void, right? The villain's name is Void. Is that his name, or is that just what they're calling?
That's his name.
Okay, so Void comes in, wrecks the whole city of Columbus. Like, this dude is knocking over buildings, creating craters, like causing havoc. And then, spoiler alert again for y'all. Y'all gotta read the book, man, because this is what I do. I spoil stuff, and I apologize. But then he's fighting your girl Vigilance, and then she goes crazy. Like, her eyes turn purple, and she starts like wailing on this dude like she's the bad guy. I'm like, bro, what? Hold up, she's supposed to be the paramount of good. Hotshot even said, yo, if you're gonna be like this, then we're gonna have to handle it mano a mano, man to woman. I'm like, yo, so we about to get Hotshot versus Vigilance out this piece already?
Well, without revealing too much, you would have to that issue gets a bit explained in the Vigilance series. We got 3 issues of Vigilance out right now, and actually issue number 3 is the issue that you're talking about, issue 5 of Hotshot. Well, issue number 3 of Vigilance is that same situation from Vigilance's eyes, from Vigilance's perspective.
Okay. See, I have Vigilance 1. I haven't read yet.
Yeah, so we have a lot of
and
stuff.
Do y'all have
on. Richard said, "Don't spoil it. He's on issue 3."
Oh man, I'm sorry, Richard. I apologize, man. But that's support. Especially indie comics. I read comics. Indie comics is my passion. Like, so when people put out books, and I gotta read American Dream, Daniel's book. I've read all of Lumberjack's Morgan stuff. I read all of his stuff. Like, even the stuff that we do on our podcast. It's crazy. But I try to read indie books, and I try to like actually get into the characters. Like I like how you I seen all the Easter eggs you put in the early books. Like, I saw you put the Ninja Turtles in there, I think in book 1 or 2. I saw that the little somebody was wearing a Ninja Turtles shirt. I love stuff like that. And his obsession with burritos, like I think the first 2 books, like the majority of the books, he was eating burritos. It seemed like I was like, what's up with that?
Dude loves his burritos, man.
I'm mad you had my man do a Kamehameha wave in book 2 too. You don't think I didn't catch that? I saw
it. Well, as much as I am a creator, which I'm sure you can relate to, I am just as much as a fan. I love anime, comics, video games, and movies, and there are plenty of homages throughout the whole book, which gives me a great segue. What homages have you used for your book? I.e., Hotshot is based off of or inspired by 4 characters: Naruto, Invincible, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. Those are the 4 characters that that the heart and soul of Hotshot comes in for when I'm writing or working on the book. What is that for you?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think if I had to say, some characters that were homage characters for me, it would definitely be Deadpool, Batman, Future Trunks from the Dragon Ball Z series.
Okay.
Maybe a little Blade, and I'd say either. See, it's kind of hard to say Blade and Captain America, but like the style of Blade's style, but Captain America's personality.
All right. So I I like the future Trunks. I like the future Trunks add in. You're saying a bit of Blade and Captain the personality of Captain America, but the style of Blade.
Yeah.
And then who was the first one you said?
Deadpool.
Deadpool. Well, Deadpool kind of is given. Deadpool's kind of a given.
You can see the Deadpool. You can see that.
Yeah, and so here's another one because my character Hotshot always gets mistaken for Frieza. Do you have any characters, or is there a character in mainstream that people from your fandom always say, "Oh, that looks just like yada yada"?
Yeah. If they don't say he looks like a purple Deadpool, they'll say he looks like one of the Foot Clan. They'll say he looks like, from Ninja Turtles. You see, yeah. I get that a lot.
I ain't even think about it. I literally just kissed it.
You got the purple.
That is perfect. I can't unsee it now.
I've gotten that a lot, man. So back to Hotshot, though. Wait a minute. Back to Hotshot. So
this is your segment. This is yours.
Nah, we talking about comics right now. So Victor, does you and Victor write the stories together?
Well, so I had a story that I wrote, and Victor read it and said it was trash. He rewrote it in like this kind of like academic style book to show me how to write, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And he was like, "Cool, you ready to write the book now?" I said, "No, but you are." So then Victor started off that story that he made. So I kind of go like tell Victor like, "Well, this is what I want. This is where I want the story to go at. This is where like the character is going." And I just give him that little bit of information, and then like boom, Victor just goes off like just creates things. So he wrote a big portion of the foundation of what is freestyle comics. A lot of like the rules and policies and things that we have going on in the world came from Victor's head. Like the Zero event is definitely a huge thing that Victor added in. EHD is a thing that Victor added in. He added these nice jewels that come up to be this big bag of stuff or whatnot. And then he wrote the 6 issues, and Victor's actually coming back. He wrote Zero Event number 1, 2, and 3. So he's actually going to show us what the Zero Event actually is. First issue has been penciled by Mike Lancet and is being colored by Veronica Smith. That should be out some point this year. So it's cool having him back and him getting to explore these things that he started in the first 6 issues. After that, or 6.5, because he helped write issue 0. I wrote half of it. He wrote half of it. And Carrie Kelly, the writer and creator of Dyna Girl, wrote 2 issues for us, 7 and 8. And then I took the writing duties with issue 9.
Okay, I was going to ask you about Carrie because I saw she did the lettering for one of the books too, right?
No, Carrie Kelly. Yeah, that's the dude. He did the lettering.
Oh, he did. Okay, I apologize. Okay, that's cool. I was gonna ask about Zero Event too, because besides that little, I don't know if it was a dream or a flashback that Hotshot had. We don't see Justice or Nemesis. Well, I haven't seen them yet, and I know I'm in 6, 7, 8 books deep already. So I'm curious about the Zero Event. But back to my beef that I have with you, man. So we spent 4 books fighting Void, right? So we out here deep with Void. This dude is smashing stuff. I am the darkness. Make room for the darkness. I'm gonna kill the light. So this dude is like the main objective of the first 4 books. And then I'm not gonna tell y'all what happens to him, but I have a question that Hotshot is also has a question about. He's like, bruh, you over here saying that you know all this stuff. Share the information with me, bruh. Share the information with me. I want to know too. I want to know why he's the chosen one. I want to know, this backstory. So my question to you is, do you already have this stuff written out? Now I see, because I'm part of Team Short Fuse. I've seen your spreadsheet of how many books that you already have plotted out. I've seen this. inside information. But the general audience doesn't know how far do you already have this story written.
Hotshot is plotted for 100 issues.
Good grief.
It's loosely plotted for the 50 to 100, but it's plotted all the way up to issue 50, like full plot, and what's going to happen in those issues. But why Hotshot has his powers, where they come from, yep, we know. Where the powers come from, if you pay attention and read Zero Event 1, 2, and 3, and if you pay attention, you'll see where the powers for Hotshot come from. We are going to, like, Zero Event's going to reveal a lot of stuff that's going to be used within that we've been writing and discussing for a while. And Victor is just like, he's like a kid in a candy shop with what he's writing and putting these things together. So like, it's up to a certain point, and now Victor's back in here, and he's like, all right, so what do you have now? Like, what's the map? What's your layout now for where everything's going? I give him that, and he's like, cool. And he starts interjecting more and more in there. But you're definitely going to find out where Hotshot's powers come from. What is the Zero Event? That is definitively going to be answered. You're going to see Nemesis and Justice, like, flat out. You're going to see them. And it's, if you're a fan of what Mike Lancet and Victor Dandridge are doing right now on Zero Event, if you are a fan of the Justice League animated series, you're going to love the Zero Event.
Okay.
And I can't exclude Danny Cooper at all in that, because he's been the editor over that book. It's just, I'm super excited. But like, all the questions and stuff are going to be answered. I have Hotshot 10 through 13 written. Layouts for number 10 are done. I'm on the pencils now. I'm working on the pencils for 10 and the layouts for 11. But also some of that, like, where does Hotshot come from? Like, that is going to be answered in 10 through 13 as well. We're going to go back into his past.
Okay. Cool. I'm cool with that. As long as I get the answers, because I need the answers.
You got Nadia and Morgan in here. Morgan says this dude's still spoiling it. Nadia, when Jackson, do you see this? What are you doing to create
Morgan?
Go ahead.
Morgan knows by now. Morgan should know by now. This is what I do. Especially if stuff has been out. Like, I want to say, Hotshot. Wow, if I had time to read them, people should have bought them. People should have them. I say read them, and if you don't, that's right. True.
So,
I saw your. Did you have saw in your book that couldn't have been a mistake? Okay, when it comes, so I'm the Easter egg king, right? You've seen my trade, right? My trade that we just got. Yeah. Shout out Short Fuse too, because look at this trade. You see this book? The book, the trade came in. Look good. The trades came in. They look good. Y'all see that right there? This is 124 pages right here, and there's a whole section. There's a whole section in my in the book that's Easter eggs and early misses, right? In the trade. So I go section by section and say where are the Easter eggs in my book. So, like in the first book, or in Ace Blade number 2, the first appearance of Ace Blade, when he crashes through the window. So the crash sound effect, CRASH, Ace Blade is actually right there where the A is supposed to be. So that's a little Easter egg, something that I thought was cool. That was painstakingly difficult to do, by the way. Like, as a letterer, like, to get the words. I don't know if there are a lot of letterers out there, but shouts out to y'all, man, because I thought it was an easy thing to do, and it took me 3 years to get my style together. So it's not easy, but there's an Easter egg, another Easter egg that I saw in your book. I think in Hotshot 3 or 4, when they were when somebody was reporting on Zero Event. The author of the report was L. Kent. Is that on
Yes,
purpose?
that was all Victor. Yes, that was on purpose.
I said this man got Lois Kent writing in his dago book. I love it. I love that.
I mean, it
That's
just
good
it just
stuff, man.
goes off to show like we love the stuff that we do, man. Let's get some of these comments. What are you using to create the sketches? My kid draws comics, and it's time for a new tablet. I'm using the iPad right now to draw on, and I'm using Procreate. Procreate is an exclusive app just for iPad. Uh, Nadia's Danny J. Quick is getting Nadia to want to read the Hot Shot books. I want everybody to know you should be reading Ace Blade too. It is complete fire. This is supposed to be Danny's moment to promote his stuff. CL says 100 issues, great plan, but is it sustainable through changing market structures? I think so. We've adapted. We've made some mistakes. We've had some successes. We're learning as we go, and that's my goal to get 100 issues of this book out because I know exactly how it ends. All the books are tied into one another. I know where all the books are leading to for this big conclusion that we have, and there's three big crossover events that will change the landscape of the Hot Shot verse, the verse that we already have planned out. So it's definitely something that I want to do. Um, Richard says my attention was on the relationship dynamic, but it has changed to the power source. Richard, it's going to be amazing how you see these two things play back and forth for you. And Nadia says she loves eggs like that. Danny,
He said, yeah,
Who are
it's
your dream
great.
indies or mainstream? Okay, Danny, who are your dream team ups for indie artists, and then give us your mainstream team up.
Oh man, that's tough. I have, man. I just like to see creative stuff, man. I'm down for team ups. I'm actually trying to get on this next. If After Victor does his thing, I'm trying to write Hot Shot. I'm trying to write Hot Shot. So we need to make that happen. I'm shooting my shot live on Chat and Draw to draw to write Hot Shot. Because I need to get
You
me an
tell me
arc in
about
there.
Hot
But uh but I don't know, man. I just got done reading it's an old series called Punisher Warzone, and it was cool to watch like a lesser known, like I didn't read a lot of Punisher books growing up, but it was kind of cool to
Mhm.
see how he handled fighting against the Avengers, right? So he had to go up against Spider-Man, he had to go up against Black Widow, he went up against he even went up against Thor and Iron Man, right? So I like seeing I like seeing stuff like that, and that's why I think I'm a big fan of the MCU because you get to see the relationships of the heroes, not just them fighting the villains all the time, but you get to see them interact with each other and different personalities, going at each other. But I don't know, indie, man, there's so many indie characters that I love. Dang, man, that's tough. I want to see. I think it would be cool to see Morgan's character Lumberjacks interact with somebody like Hotshot, because Morgan Morgan always talks about Ace Blade like he's a goody two shoes, like he's the soldier of truth and all this stuff. But like Hotshot has those like has similar values right there. So I think it would be cool to see in Hotshot in the same book, because Lumberjacks is an older guy, and but Hotshot is a young impressionable dude. So they would definitely deal with things differently, and I'd like to see something like that.
Okay. So we did that one. All right. So I'm a big film guy, man. I love movies. I'm a big movie head. Favorite all time movie or saga, to make that question a little bit easier for you.
Man, um, that's tough, man. I love movies so much, and it's different things about movies that I like. I'll say, man, I can't answer that question because it's gonna change next week. Like next week, my favorite movie is gonna be something else. But I'll probably watch Captain America, Civil War more than anything. Like I've probably seen that film more than any other film in life, and it's just a masterpiece of storytelling and misdirection. And it's a comic book movie, but it's got themes that are real to people. Um, so right now, that's one of my favorites. Black Panther is something that I can watch at any time. Like I can literally watch Black Panther. But then there are movies like there's an old comedy, action comedy called All About the Benjamins with Ice Cube and dang, what's his name? Omar. Dang, what's his name? Mike Epps. That's one of my favorite like movies. But top of the list for me is The Last Dragon.
Oh, okay.
That's been one of my consistent favorites ever since I first saw it. And it to me that's a perfect film. Like very good. Don't be coughing, bro. Don't be doing that. You need to drink some water. Need you to drink water. Stop with all. Stop it. But Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon is a perfect film to me. From beginning to end, like it sets up the themes perfectly, gives you the story right in front, and then the journey, and you meet all these crazy characters, and you kind of learn a lesson at the end of it. So that's probably one of my all-time favorites. What about you?
All right, so let's get some of these comments again. Nadia said, "Oh wait, oh shoot, we're getting a lot of comments." Morgan says, "Nah, Hot Shot is fire. I read the first 3 issues last year. Something's tough." William saying that's a tough thing to say online. Morgan put up a bunch of emojis. I don't know what that means. Bruh, he's shoulder shrug. Okay, CL wants to know, it's his first exposure to Ace Blade. Sell me on this character. Make the pitch. Pull me in, please.
That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here for. So, Ace Blade, listen, Ace Blade is just like you and me, except he has the most incredible hands. This dude is the best fighter in the universe, but he is faced with a troubling decision whether to go on this journey for revenge or to sell his soul, and he has to make a tough decision. So in the first 4 issues, you get to see him become this superhero, this hero called Ace Blade, and see what kind of decisions that he makes as a man, and if he's willing to give up all of his morals just for his own selfish own revenge. So I enjoy creating it. Especially adventure. I really enjoyed telling the first arc, and now we're into me and Morgan have created a podcast where we tell stories about these characters, and it's just so fun to kind of expand on who the characters are, what the villains are, why they fight, why even why the bad guys fight, why they do the things they do. So I'm having fun with it, man. I'm having fun with
it. All right. Dane said he needs to watch The Last Dragon. Yeah, Dane, you should watch that immediately after you get off this show. As soon as the show's done, you go watch The Last Dragon. Chris is saying he actually plans to get rich and remake The Last Dragon. Hey, I don't know if I agree with that, Chris. That movie's pretty good.
Hey, that's a good one right there. You can remake that one. I'd go see it.
All right, so that's a good little pop-up question. If you could remake a film, which one would it be?
Oh, remake a film.
Hey, Nadia got it right. She said, I see you done told half a hot shot, but you ain't getting nothing out on that ace.
That's what I do. That's what I do, man. If I could remake a movie, I'd remake. No, I can't say that. My wife's favorite movie is The Sound of Music. For some reason, she loves that film, and I don't. I just can't get it. I don't get it. I do not understand why she loves that movie so much. I bought it for on every I bought it for on DVD, on Blu-ray. You know, every time we watch it, I'm like, I just don't get it. But I couldn't say that I would remake that one. So, because I guess it's a classic. So it would have to be something like, Blade. I want to do. I can't. That's why I can't wait for this next Blade movie to come out, because that's the one that I would really like to see redone, and tell that story, because I think it will be really good for this generation of comic book heroes to readers and moviegoers to experience what we did. Because when Blade came out in movies, that was the
Blade was the truth. Well, it still is. Blade's still a good movie.
Yeah, still great. Still great.
Okay, so we got that. We did that. Who?
Mike, I gotta switch out. I gotta switch out. I gotta switch platforms. So can you? I gotta switch to my tablet because I gotta walk around. So I'm trying to log in on the other one real quick. I don't want to interrupt though.
That's fine. Just use, if you're logging back into your Facebook account, just use that same link.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, it says I'm backstage.
Yep.
Am I in there? Hey, okay, cool.
Our first device transition.
Live on the show.
Live on the show. That was flawless.
I gotta go. I gotta. You over here drawing? I gotta do some comic book work too. I got back and board these books, so that they can go get. Well, I'm not bagging and boarding the ones for them, but Kickstarter backers. But you know, business never stops, man. Tomorrow's my birthday.
Okay.
And what I'm doing tomorrow, I'm taking off of work so that I can send comic books out.
Yeah, because you're sending out that trade, right?
Go to the post office. Yep, that's right. Getting it straight back out there, so I can get it to these Kickstarter backers.
Well, that's because we always deliver.
We always.
All right, so favorite villain all time and why?
Favorite villain, Show enough. I was
just
talking about The Last Dragon. The villain from The Last Dragon was this dude called Show Enough. He didn't care about anything but proving that he was the best. Now, Show was a bad dude. Now, he did some things that he shouldn't have done. He went and wrecked the pizzeria. He interrupted people's movies when they was at dang on. They was just out there sitting trying to have a good time. But his whole goal was, I want to prove that I'm the best. And I don't care who I got to fight, who I got to beat up. It don't matter to me how much money you pay me. I'm the best. And it's kind of similar to Ace Blade in that fact, because Ace Blade really just wants to prove that he's the best fighter in the world. And you see in the first issue that somebody prevents him from doing that, because he's fought all the way to the top of the MMA, and he wants to prove that he's the best, but he finds out somebody's been setting up fights for him, right? Set up fights for him to get. It's a blow to his moral code. It's a blow to his ethics. It's a crushing blow to everything that he's been working for. So, goes on this
Okay.
journey to find out who's behind it, who's responsible, and he finds out there's some deeper stuff going on. There's a lot of deep seated issues going on in the city around him. So that's why he decided to take on this aid so that he can help the people in the city of Vegas City, um, show them that there's other ways to live your life than to be ruled by money, than the almighty dollar. So that's why I like Show Enough, because he's all about business. Show Enough is all about, I just want to prove I'm the best, and that's what Ace did. He wants to prove that he's the best. And he's got he's got his backs. He's got that. Like I told you, he's like Deadpool. So he'll joke with you when it's time to get serious. But only usually it's part of his strategy. Because if you can throw another fighter off their game, then you already beat them. Lumberjacks knows all about that. Ask Morgan.
Hmm. All right, we're getting a ton of comments in here. CL, hold up, and back it up. All right. Nadia wants to know, how do you feel about Wesley Snipes not being Blade in a remake?
See, I think Wesley could still do it. I think he can still do it, but I hope that they give him some kind of cameo at least. They pass the torch the right way, because really he was the start of the whole Marvel, success. Like all the success that came from Marvel started with Wesley Snipes and Blade, and I don't care what nobody says. He should be part of that. He should continue to be part of that movie series, especially if they make 2 and 3, movies off of it, because Blade was it for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping they make him a villain in the franchise, or make
That would
him
be
less,
even better.
something like that.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Um, oh my goodness, I got my first comment from another country, and I don't know what that says. I apologize so much. I wish I knew what that said. Morgan says, nah, LOL. Obviously, it's something that we were talking about. Lonzo says, what's up, Mr. Quick? CL wishes you a happy B-Day. Chris Williams said that's
Thank
an
you.
excellent B-Day plan. Nadia wishes you a happy birthday.
Thank you.
And our international viewer got it to translate for us. Said, cool drawing. How much time do you spend on creativity? Oh, I don't know, man. It depends. Right now, I had no idea what I was going to draw for Mr. Quick. And just in this conversation, I was able to work this out and get that on there. So now I'm just trying to finish up the inks on it. So we've been at it for 50 minutes right now. Chris says, yes, sir. Nadia says the sketch is amazing. Thank you very much. Morgan says, corporate plug. LOL, great spot, Mike Watson. Richard said he knew you were going to say show enough. He got the glow. Somebody all of a sudden, now Nadia Wynn Jackson. I use him though. A villain would be awesome. So, did I ask you that question yet?
What?
Dan? Oh, your all-time favorite villain.
Oh yeah, we was talking about.
No, yeah. Show up. Yeah, going back to these comments got me losing track. Well, my favorite villain of all time is Mr. Smith. I
From the
love
Matrix.
Mr. From the Matrix. He is a disrespectful son of a gun.
That's a good one.
His the way he despises humanity is incredible. And he just got so smug. He had some of the best lines in the movie. But yeah, he's my all-time favorite villain.
That's a good one. I like that.
Did you pitch CL about the book?
Who?
I think Mr. CL wanted you to pitch him about Ace Blade.
Yeah, I did. I even gave him a breakdown of the first issue. So, I mean, hopefully he'll go and check it out. Now that we got the trade, I see that's another thing. Because I didn't grow up, reading comics. It took me a little while longer to learn how to make the comics. So now that we have 4 books out, Like I'm excited because it's a complete story, and and now that we have the podcast, it's even until Ace Blade 5 and 6 and that stuff come out, people to listen to and read. So um, I'm happy. I'm happy about it.
A villain would be
Oh, I got a
awesome.
question for
Thanks for the answer. No problem, man. And she meant Snipes being the villain would be dope. Yes, it would. Chris is laughing, and Mr. Smith is an a-hole. Yes, he is. That's one of the reasons why I like him.
you.
He
I got a question for
absolutely
you.
is. Go ahead.
So, all the short fuse books have this thing. Hold on, let me see if I got one. Here, look. So, all the short fuse books have this little title across the front. You see, Ace Blade says they have these 4 words: hero. Ace Blade is hero, enigmatic, reclusive, and outsider. Right, to kind of
Uh
describe
huh.
him as to people who look at the comic for the first time. Hot shots are geek, student, friend, and hero, right? So those
Hmm.
4 things, kind of describe what hotshot is. Um, I heard that might have been your idea to do that kind of stuff. Is that true?
Yeah, that was my idea to do those.
Okay. Why did you decide it? I think it's a great idea. I love it. I like it a lot. But why did you decide to do that? Is it just the marketing of it? Is it the just to help people decide what kind of books they want? Or what was it?
Just to give people that inside line. So, for example, just so when you can pick up the book, you get a basic sense of what the book is about. Um, it really was helpful when we're out at shows and like say everybody with the large library that we have we haven't read everybody's stuff yet, so you could
Mm-hmm.
break down like, hey, this is what this book is about. Those type of tropes will be in this type of story. That's the type of story that you're looking for. But I just thought it was very simple, especially because at mainstream comic book conventions, I'm pitching to comic book fans, but I'm also pitching to people who aren't necessarily comic book fans, but are fans of geekdom. And they may
Mm-hmm.
not be into comic books, but I may be able to pitch them with that and let them see that and get them to get their first comic book.
Okay. I like it. I think it's a great idea, man. Um I've learned a lot. Like I said, I joined Short Fuse because I hate the logistics behind getting comics to people who are not right in front of me. I just
Mhm.
hate shipping books. Morgan can tell you, I literally hate going to the post office to send books to people because I always feel like they're gonna get damaged. They are not gonna get to the person that they are supposed to get to. I feel like I'll forget somebody. So I joined Short Fuse because of that. We always deliver, and it's helped me to learn how to be um, a better distributor because I've learned some things, but it also lets me focus on the part of the stuff that I like the most, which is promotions. I enjoy writing and telling stories. So I've learned a lot from y'all over this couple of years that I've been with y'all, and I appreciate it, man.
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate you very much, Danny. I was looking forward to this interview because you're just so illmatic. Uh, there are very few people that will go to the lengths of entertainment and hitting a different lane of promotional arena that you do. And I love it. I love all of it.
Yeah, man. I think I just have fun creating stuff. So I don't know if you've seen, but I have this TikTok now. My daughter's got me on TikTok, and I got addicted to it very quickly. So I'm very creatively impulsive. I like drawing. I'm not good at drawing, but I enjoy it. I enjoy drawing. But I really am into filmmaking and telling stories through visual media. So TikTok is like the perfect place for me to just get on there, make something silly, and then put it out there. And me and I finally got Morgan on the board. on board on TikTok. So we've been doing some videos, and it's just, man, I just enjoy putting stuff out there and kind of promoting the work. And I'm always trying to bring it back to the comics, but sometimes some of us are better at only like your man Sean. He's good at getting on here just for the comics. I always end up putting my own stuff online, even when I don't want to. I'm always putting my family out there, always doing jokes with them and stuff like that. And to each his own. I just, sometimes I get in trouble because my wife, she doesn't she doesn't always want me to be making videos. But hey, it's part of the life now, man. It's part of life.
Part of the life now.
So I didn't tell you this, but at the beginning of the video, I started working on a little sketch. I just told you I'd like to draw. I'm not good at it, but I like to draw. And I started working on this little sketch here. You tell me what you think so far. Can you see it?
Oh, the hot shot. All right. I see you up there. I see you bulked him up a little bit more.
he a little, this probably like 25-year-old hot shot.
Yeah, he hitting the gym for real.
Shoot. But I said, this is chat and draw. I might as well, sit down and draw a little bit. Man, I'm terrible. I don't know how y'all do it. You artists that I work with the artist who drew Ace Blade 3 and 4 and the one that I co-created King Supreme with. I do not know how y'all do hands, man. Hands and feet are like the worst part of anatomy for me to draw. It's just ridiculous, man. And you and him especially are like masters of it. I don't get it, bro. How many thousands of hours did you put into just drawing hands?
People always say that they hate drawing hands. I'm a graduate. Thanks, Robert. I'm a graduate of the Columbus College of Art and Design, and our figure drawing teacher just had us drawing hands all the time. But I just like drawing hands, and like that stuff never bothered me.
Bro, you amazing dude. I saw when you were on with was it yesterday you were on with Chris Williams?
Yeah.
You were on and you were talking about how you kept going back to your portfolio with your portfolios, bringing it to Marvel and DC, and how they said that you were a little too urban at the time.
Yeah.
I like, man. I've like I said, I've read all of your Hot Shot comics, and I see the progress that you made from book one, the art, the visual storytelling. That's another thing I was gonna say. Even in the Zero book, because there's no text in that book. Like there's very minimal, conversation, and it's book 0, right? That's just
all pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's very little, conversation. There's very little dialogue. There's very little text in that book, but it's told. The story speaks for itself, man, and you do a great job with that, and that's something that all illustrators can't do as well. So I commend you on that, man. I can tell that you put a lot of work into it, and that was book 0. Assuming you did book 0 first, right?
No, I didn't. The actual order that you're supposed to read the books are 1, 2, 3, and 0. I drew all the books in the order that you're supposed to read them. 0 is a pretty important story for the defense of Carla, and you won't appreciate anything else that goes on in their relationship without going through issue 0.
It was one date, man. Like, I mean, I understand that he's late consistently. I got that. I understood that. I understood that he's late, but the man is literally the only superhero around besides him, besides Vigilance. Literally the only one stopping all of these what do you call them in your books? Metas? Not metas.
We call them extras in our book.
Extras. So you got to get him in a break. You got to get him in a break. I need.
Well,
Well, at least,
the break might be coming. You don't know, man. I mean, they still got some issues they need to work out through. You're definitely going to get an update on what's going on with Carla in the next story arc. Um, Mike as well. It's an ongoing thing. It's not. Relationships are very sticky things. They don't just dissolve instantaneously. I mean, unless you truly hate the person and you have no ties. But you'll see how it plays out. That's one of the things that I wanted to happen with the book is I wanted it to be relatable for people. Like, but I can't say that because that's a spoiler. But I wanted to be relatable people that go through things in relationships. No. You didn't say more than enough.
Terrible. Well, that's cool, man. Like I said, I'm enjoying the series. I'm gonna get into Vigilance. I think I read the first Vigilance book when I was in Baltimore with the when we all went down there. When you abandoned us for the other show. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. But
no, it's fine. Sean says the same thing.
But I did read Vigilance one while I was out there. I haven't quite gotten into it. I'm trying to get through Hot Shot. I'm probably get through Hot Shot because I got 8, 9, 10 already, so I just got to read them. But there was another thing. So I want to say in book 1, you mentioned Heroes International, and Vigilance is all throughout the series already. So did you create all of these characters? Who did you create first? Like, which story did you create first, or all just at the same time?
Hotshot was the first character created. I created Vigilance next, though Victor renamed her. He didn't like the name, and when he brings up his points, he's absolutely right. The name I had didn't work. And then Vic created the team of Heroes International, but the Heroes International team has gone through 2 different phases of development. So they started out one way, and then they are almost different from how they're seen right now in the book.
Okay.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that.
What was Vigilance's name before?
Vigilance's name before was Vengeance.
And she was supposed to be a good guy?
Exactly.
Yeah. See, sometimes it's a collaborative effort. Sometimes, see, that's why I like working with Morgan. Morgan is Morgan Iverson, the creator of Lumberjacks. He's a natural storyteller, and he doesn't mind asking questions about stuff. So, when we write together, he will literally stop a story and say, "Yo, this does not make sense. Why is this person here, or why this character wouldn't do that, or whatever." So he makes my writing a lot better, my storytelling a lot better, and hopefully I do the same with him, because I don't mind pointing out the stuff that I don't mind asking questions. So I think conversations like that can only help strengthen the storytelling. And man, that looks good, man. It's just looking good. I keep getting distracted. I'm trying to keep the conversation going, but I keep getting distracted by the art, man. The art is great. I'm glad you decided to do this show.
Huh?
I'm glad you decided to do this show, man. It's a great idea.
I'm glad I decided to do it too. It is a lot of fun, and I'm getting some really cool images and meeting some really cool creators, and we're all getting some good exposure from this.
Yeah. So this is a question that I like.
Let me see.
Hot Shot's answer, of course, is going to be easy, so I'm going to alter it a little bit. But I like to ask creators this question. Hot Shot can fly, so I have to alter the question. If Hot Shot's powers dissipated somehow, they all just went away, and he was falling from the sky, falling from 100,000 feet in the sky, how would he survive the fall? What would he do to try to survive the fall?
Or all of his powers.
Without his powers, if his powers just dissipated and somebody dropped him out of a a high flying aircraft, what would he do to try to survive the fall?
There is no survival. He doesn't have. If his powers are gone, he's done. If we're saying all of his powers are out instead of just his flight powers, if he still had
Okay,
his
if
ability
he
to shoot fire, he would probably try to use the
yeah,
fire
okay,
blast to slow himself down.
okay, we'll give him his fire blast and let him save himself. he
Yeah, 'cause your boy's done.
said that's it. Mm-mm. That's it.
Yeah,
Good
so
old man.
kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender style, he would use the fire to slow himself down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. Shoot. So is Hot Shot? What's the next book that's coming out for y'all?
The next book that's coming for us is Emerald Quest #2.
Emerald Quest. What is that? I've never even heard of Emerald Quest. What is this?
Emerald Quest is our fantasy book. It is like Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, and X-Men put in one book. Our main character is a 15-year-old girl who is a military savant. She is the youngest general in her queen's army.
Okay. See, this is one. See, I follow you, and I'd never even heard of Emerald Quest, so I know this is the trouble with indie books, man. It's tough to get so when you build an audience, you have to keep them at all costs because it's hard to get people's eyes on stuff. I know I'll follow your page, you know, probably closer than a lot of people. So if I haven't seen it, I know other people haven't seen it. Read all your books. So
Right.
what is it that you do to get new eyes on your books?
Oh man. Well, the thing kind of with Emerald Quest, it's been out for a while. We've had a #1 issue for a while, so the #2 and #3 issues. Well, #3 is drawn and inked. It just needs to be colored. I haven't pushed that book as much. It's not even on the Short Fuse store yet, just because we are. I want those other two books out. So um,
Mm-hmm.
once we get 3 colored, I want to both those books are dropping this year, issue 2 and 3, and issue 1 under that Short Fuse banner or whatnot. So it's just been out for a while, and life happens, things happen, and you don't get to get the things the way that you want to. So it's kind of been in a floating status right now, but that status ends this year, and it comes down to the ground.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Do you So are you full time art art, or do you have a side hustle? A full time job? Any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I have a part-time gig where I teach after-school programming, and I do. I'm an art teacher as well.
Okay. Oh, nice, good stuff. So, I work at the VA hospital. I work at the Veterans Hospital in Durham, North Carolina. Um, so that's my full
Okay.
time. But recently, with all the coronavirus stuff, I went to school for graphic design. After the military, I went to school for graphic design when I started taking comics really seriously. But I've been helping out with the public affairs department. I've been helping with graphic design and designing posters and getting messages out to people about changing appointments and stuff like that. So it's cool to be able to use to kind of fuse the two, like the art world and in the professional world. I think that's cool, man. What
Well,
are you planning
thank you,
on doing
sir.
with all this? What are you planning on doing with all this art when you get done?
Well, me and Mr. Mack have talked about a couple things that we
Uh
may
oh.
do, but everyone that comes on the show, they get the file. I send them the file, and y'all can do whatever y'all want with it.
Hmm. I know Mr. Mack is talking this. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to get in his inbox to see if I can get it out of him. Sean
Yeah,
likes to
so
keep stuff close to the chest.
it's been he does. It's been great to have this stuff to put onto my Instagram, my Twitter account.
On the floor. Go away and don't get nothing else. Nothing else.
But yeah, so it's mainly just really just trying to help people promote. Uh, like I said, I know everything's hard for people right now with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Morgan, anybody can draw. Just it's just a consistent thing that you have to keep doing every day.
Nah, you haven't seen Morgan. You haven't seen Morgan. You haven't
Damn.
seen Morgan try to draw, bro. Oh, bro. I told him. I thought even when like we create characters and stuff like that, I'm like, man, just sketch it out. Sketch it out for the artist. Easy for him. If you have an idea in your head, just draw it out. And he's like, no, we're not doing any of that. It's ridiculous. So are we gonna get Hot Shot versus?
It could be on the horizon. Well, not the horizon, but something that's planned out. There's a
so that's like Hot Shot 50.
No, it's not. But there's some things. Like I said, there's some things. We got things lined up. We got things lined up. In here.
Okay.
Coming to a close on this one here. I'm almost done.
It's a good looking piece, man.
You know.
Oh, I need to
What you need?
I saw you have a source book. You have a source book for your for the Hot Shot verse too.
Yep.
I need to get with you because I want to make one. I want to make a source book before this next Ace Blade book. Because it's all about the villains, and a lot of people haven't met them unless they get the trade. You know, because all of the villains are in there. But I want to do a source book, but I'm not sure if I have, enough characters yet. So I need to get with you on that.
All right, that's fine. As much stuff as I see you post, I think you got enough characters. All right. All right, so there it is. Take off the pencils. Ace Blade for Danny J. Quick.
Beautiful work, man.
Beautiful work. Go ahead and so I will go ahead and send this off to you. This is yours to get colored up. Do whatever you want to it. Want to thank you for joining us on the show. We went a little bit longer than usual today, but that's okay. I feel like Danny and I were having a pretty good conversation of back and forth on this edition of Chat and Draw. Mr. Quick, where can everybody find you?
I'm on all social media. I'm everywhere except for Snapchat. So if you look up the Ace Blade, find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok now, Facebook, and then if you want to get in our comments, you can go to the review site, or you can go to our website, www.fourthwallpros.com.
Awesome. And as usual, please go to our website to check out all of Mr. Quick's books, Ace Blade, King Supreme, and all that goodness is at shortfusemediagroup.com. Here's a quick tip that I love to tell people. Be sure to buy the printed copy of the book. It will get delivered to you because we always deliver. And you'll get the digital copy of the book for free. You can always find me as Art of Mike Watson on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Go ahead and give me a follow. And subscribe to the YouTube channel. I love having new subscribers there. I am doing all types of cool stuff. We have Chat and Draw. We have Dear Creative. We have The Good, the Bad, and the Nerdy. We have My Map to Making Comics 101. Tons of different shows that I'm involved in, all on that page. So it's not just all the same stuff. And Mr. Quick has his sketch up there of Hot Shot. Let's see. Let's pull him down here. Pull that down.
Got the Hot Shot and Ace Blade team up already. Yeah, you see, I'm not. See, this is the difference right here. Somebody who has not been drawing for 14 years plus, and then Mr. Greatness. So I appreciate you, Mike. I appreciate you having me on, man. I had a good time.
I appreciate it too, sir. I enjoy myself drawing your characters. Next, I got to look up on the list. It's on there, and I got them scheduled. We're doing a Saturday special episode just because we have so many people sign up. But after I posted it, after this one goes up and I post a picture, I post who the next person is. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everybody that has been watching and stuff, please give us a follow, give us a like and follow on our Facebook page for Short Fuse Media Group. My YouTube page is called, go to YouTube and just search Dear Creative, and I'll come right up. I'm trying to take over the world, Morgan. Thank you again. Everybody had great comments and questions and stuff. Danny, be sure to get in here and answer some of these people so they can see you, so they can find out who you are and all that jazzy stuff. Thank you for tuning into this episode, and we will catch you on Saturday. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Stay epic, everybody.